Good morning, Big Brother Hometown's Viewing Lounge. It is a lovely Sunday morning with me, CLC, to discuss all the tea BBH16. Today, I am no longer for what? I am Katy Perry because this cast is hot and bitch, then it's cold. Either the round is cracked out of their mind or it is boring, and we are back to a cracked round. I am so excited. Train of thought delivers and just new and interesting ways that we could just never predict, and I'm so excited to talk about it. Speaking of trains, Sarah has jumped. She's off the Olivia train. She jumped off that bitch, and I get that. I understand that. I feel that. Any other comments? I just want to say hi Christian, hi Lee, hi Alex, hi Sarah again, hi Josh. Why aren't you here? That's everyone. Anyway, I'm gonna bring on my guests now. Joining me on it's day 4 of his drunk he's not working tour. It's Seth my ass.
Drunk he's not working tour. That sounds about right. I would lovingly refer to it as day 4 of my stint as co-host of this podcast, but
that works too. You're always a co-host. It's not just a stint. It's not just a stint.
Just more frequent co-host.
The bingo card holders are waiting for you to send in an angry tirade via video to this show. They're waiting. They're waiting.
Someone's got to piss me off a little bit more.
Oh, has Jimbo not pissed you off? Because girl, no, I'm mad.
No, I'm not mad at him.
Okay, fine. I'll be mad then for us. Anyway, bringing in. She was here yesterday. She's looking lovely per usual. She had some fun, interesting events happen last night. It's Crystal.
Hi. I'm good. Recovering.
It's funny your name is
St. Patrick's Day. I hydrated. Smart.
I should do that. Whatever. Which guest should I bring? You know what? I'll save our new debut guest for last. Coming to us, the robbed goddess of Padlock 4. I'll say it, even though I don't actually know if she was robbed or not because I don't follow it. But I'm just going to say she's robbed anyway. Robbed goddess of BBH12, my friend. It's Hannah G.
I would say robbed. I would like to say robbed, but also good thing I'm not there because I would destroy all of these heathens.
As you should.
Eat them up.
Who deleted?
I'm here.
Follow it. I don't know who deleted my banner, but go follow Hannah Gonzalez at Handgone. That's right? It's
That's correct. That's correct.
Handgone's on Twitch. She does fun stuff. Go follow her. Go follow her on Twitch.
This is why I'm here.
So
Shameless promotion.
We're here to shamelessly plug. Yes, I am a Stana. I have not changed my name in the Padlock VL.
As you shouldn't. Thank you. Thank you.
And finally, she's making her debut appearance. You might know her from Ascendance Live, where she was robbed at the finale. Disgusting. That was terrible and rude. She might have cut Josh Consalvo at 3 in the Hive, and we celebrated. It's 70 Bacon.
I knew you were gonna bring that.
As we should. He's in the comments. I have to.
The funniest thing, though, and he will agree to this. During the final 3, me and him were having a conversation, and it was like us just circling each other, going, "Yeah, so would you take me? Would you take me?" And both of us were like, "Fuck no."
Okay, no. He absolutely told us. He's like, "I have to win this final thing and cut Stephanie." Yeah. Oh, we knew it was whoever wins is going to win the season and cut the other, and
it was great.
It worked out. The Lord did what the Lord should have done. Love you, Josh. Play again.
Definitely.
Someone play Survivor with Josh Consalvo, blindside him, and make sure you tell him you have an extra vote steal advantage so he can expose it as he's walking out the door.
It's such a mess, Carl.
Okay, we're moving on. We're going to talk about BBH now. We've talked about every org in the fucking planet at this point. Let's talk about our org. Oh, good lordy mighty. So coming in to day 7, wowza bowza, we have the Train of Thought HOH competition, which is shaping up to be a mess. We got people claiming they don't understand it, which when they absolutely do. You've got people who don't want it or actively throwing, and you've got people who don't care, so they're setting their directions in the house chat, which we've never seen before. And then you've got some people lying about their direction to help their allies. It was a mess, and we had no clue what to expect of this head of household. But let's get into it. It starts off the day with this Jimbo, Anwar, Veronica, and Jacob group that seems to be possibly forming. Jimbo leaks the ridiculous 6, or I guess ridiculous 5, to Jacob and kind of brings him in a little closer. And they agree, if Jacob's going to do our dirty work and put up 2 people from that alliance, let's get Jacob to do it. Why should we have to do it? So the goal becomes for Jimbo, Anwar, and Veronica, gather as much intel as we can and give it to Jacob. Jacob can have it all, and he can get a perfect score, which seemed highly likely. So all day I'm like, Jacob's gonna win. It's gonna be pretty cut and dry here. We had some other players in the game. We had Caro wanting to play or wanting to win it so she could target Kadri for sure, and then probably Jacob, Claudia, or Veronica usually. Elise hops on the board to help out Caro. But in the day here, Caro ultimately gets screwed by Kadri, and we'll get into Kadri in a bit. Louise wants to win, but ultimately just gives up because she doesn't understand what the fuck she's supposed to be doing. We've talked about Jacob wanting to put up Caro and Louise, and a lot of people banking on him to win it by giving him all the info. And then Bridget throws her hat in the ring at the last minute, wants to put up Kadri and Claudia, which Olivia and Kelly want nothing to do with. As much as they're aligned with her in a bunch of alliances, they're like, girl, this strategy of like keeping the vets to the end is not it for them, because they're the one, gathering up the newbies here. They're like, we don't want to do that. Let's not do that. That's dumb. So, and then Michael at the last minute, Elise helps out Michael as well. Michael is just going random because Michael is Michael. It's just like, I'm just gonna put them in alphabetical order and kind of change them around Fibonacci wise and call it a list. And Elise is like, do you want to create a real list that's going to get you a high score? And Michael's like, teach me your ways. And so now Michael is indebted to Elise. But Michael also falls victim to the same issue, which is Kadri. I know it was a lot I threw at you. Let's talk about any of those things we just talked about. It could be Bridget and her strategy of keeping the vets in. It could be about Kadri's lie. Kadri went to the house chat and lied about his direction just for shits and giggles. He did tell his 2 alliances, the Pussy Willows and Magic Feet, that he was lying. So really only benefited those like 5 or 6 people who knew the truth. But ultimately his lie is what Caro had the perfect trajectory, as well did had the perfect trajectory, so did Michael, and Kadri's lie obviously derails them completely. So very, very interesting.
Whoa, sorry.
The dog did not like
My dog
Kadri's
was
lie.
like, Kadri's lie, just
That was so messed up, man. That was
Messed up.
so messed
I knew that
up.
would happen. That's why I've been on mute most of the time. And then I was like, oh, I kind of want to say something. Let me go off mute. And but no, I think Kadri's lie is, we all see it's kind of biting him in the ass right now. It's not come to fruition to him that it's biting him in the ass, but there's people in the background going, what is happening? Like people wanted to put him up because of it. People are now like trying to get Jimbo to put him up because of it. And now Jimbo's like, oh, I'll backdoor him, but I won't really. Like, there's so much happening all because of Kadri's lie.
A mess. Disaster.
Yeah. This type of game is it's a game talk game. It's a social positioning game. And it's round 3. Like, is round 3 the time to make a bold-faced lie to the entire game about this? Like, it's not.
Kadri doesn't really know that.
Spoiler
either, so.
alert. Yeah.
Spoiler
Right.
alert, not good.
Right, and that's I don't blame, like, what we've seen Kadri, how we've seen him play so far is he's first time newbie energy. Like, he is just ready to play. And like he was on a call with Jimbo last night. He's like, I'm always ready to make a big move. And it's like, yeah, we do. we totally we
We
know.
are very aware.
But like, and this just like with experience and like playing more games, I feel like he would not make the same decision, you know, in his next game or the game after that. But it's, I don't know. I just think it's funny to me that the mechanism of this is like build trust with people, how like help figure out how to get your allies to help you win. And he's just like, I'm just gonna lie.
And God, I love him. God, I love him. But
Oh, so
I think, and I get his intention. His intention is if I lie to everybody but my alliance members, anyone who factors in my incorrect direction is guaranteed to lose. Which, correct. That is a fair assessment. And it happens. Good on you. The problem is if you're the only liar in this game, it is very easy to mathematically figure out what the hell happened. There are only so many solutions those trains can hit to get you a score of negative 1.33333. There's only so many ways your trains can combine to get a score of 44. So immediately, as soon as the challenge is over, Bridget and Elise hop on a call and they're like, so my math says that Kadri's the liar. And they go, yeah, Kadri's the liar. And you immediately spread that to anyone who will listen. So as much as I understand the intentionality behind it, had he sat down and thought about it for 5 seconds and been like, well, shit, if I'm the only liar, this is not good. If you got 2 people to lie, then you create, you know, more options, more, and you kind of hide behind like, oh, but there's this solution that people could have lied to you and got you there. You need, in this game, if you're going to lie, you need an accomplice or multiple people to lie. It can't just be you because you'll be sussed out immediately.
I think his head is in the right place. Like the idea, first of all, to even go about that, like, is smart. I just think he didn't go to the next step, which in Big Brother, you have to think about, okay, if I do this, then what happens after? And what happens if people figure me out? What happens if people don't figure me out? You have to outline all of those things when you make a move like that. I would know. And I would know when it backfires.
Queen.
Yeah, so his head is in the right place, and I can't wait to see him play games after this because I think he will be unstoppable.
Yeah,
he has great reads. Oh my gosh, y'all, he has really good reads about like even just like last night when he had been gone for the whole night because he's got family in town, and he missed out on 5 or 6 hours of the game's flow. And he walked in, read his messages, assessed what was happening, and then sent like a huge thing to his ear. He's like, all right, let's talk. And it was like, like very correct of like, Jimbo's not actually with us. He's more aligned with Anwar and Veronica, and Jeff has nothing to do with this. So why would we boot Jeff? Like, I was like,
it's impressive because it wasn't like he was, and it wasn't like he was with family and on his phone. He was at Hamilton, phone away, gone.
Yeah, like just he like logged back in after like 5 hours and was like, all right, I'm here. Let me assess the situation like via messages that I have access to, and here's what I see. And I was like, all right, that's pretty impressive.
And fixes his wrong read, like, because he's been one of the biggest anti-Jeff, like the biggest anti-Jeff person in the house. And finally, like his initial read wasn't incorrect. Like, yes, Jeff likes Veronica and Veronica likes Jeff, but he has been assuming that Jeff, Veronica, and Anwar are together and they're a dominant trio, yada yada yada. And finally, he's been like, you know what? Maybe it's not Jeff, and it's never been Jeff. I'm like, thank God, finally, like Jeff can breathe for a minute.
Jeff isn't in any dominant position in any way, shape, or form, and everybody keeps like pushing that narrative, like, we got to worry about Jeff. Jeff's like big.
It's Carly from last season. It is Carly from last season. Everyone thinks that Jeff is up to no good when he is breathing. And
but sometimes, I mean, I don't know if people really think that, because sometimes it's a very active move to be like, this person's a big threat. I ain't worried about him. I just want him out. But like, over there, like,
I think it's possibly because of how he acted like that for those first few days. Like he was very dominant. And then they were like, oh, he's got to be doing something, when really, like you said, Carl, he's just literally breathing right now.
He's chilling. And
he really... I hate it because we like all we said preseason was if he just comes in and relaxes and is cool, calm, collected, he'll do fine. He's just himself, he'll do fine. And then he like overplayed for that first like 24 hours and then has been really chill and just
He corrected himself.
Yeah, he fixed it. He's like, well, self. Pause.
Yeah.
But he also set precedent for himself that now it's like, well, he was all of this and now he's not really talking to me. He must be talking to other people over me. So shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Because everybody's confessional, they'll be like, oh, and Jeff, I like him. I don't trust him. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, why?
Well, at least they like him.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true. That's true. That's
At least it's not I hate this
9/10 of the battle.
Yeah.
And they'll love to see him in the pre-jury. They love him, but don't want him anywhere near the game.
Stop. No.
But let's
Agreed. No.
My draft can't handle this.
I'm not even sure who's on my draft, to be honest. It's all non-men, so I think I'm chilling.
Don't worry. I have Jeff, Veronica, and Claudia, who I love and want to go far. It's not looking good.
I might actually have Louise.
Some choices.
Listen, I just won perceptions draft.
Oh, period.
So I have to lose this one.
It's all about balance. All about
balance.
Exactly.
You have Kelly and Claudia in the prod draft, Carl.
I do. I thought about the VL draft. I definitely have Louise.
Yeah,
so
I don't know who you have there.
I'm very much in the back of the bus chuckling. I'm in danger.
That's another person. I mean, like, I know we're kind of maybe jumping ahead here, but like, I'm so surprised to see Louise on the block here early, like this early on in the game. Like, I'm not surprised given the way that the game has gone in terms of like the last week or so. But I am surprised to see Louise on the block in round 3 as a concept.
I'm not because of the person who's HOH. I think I would be surprised by Minnie, but not.
Yeah, had you told me preseason that she'd be on the block and in danger this early, I would have told you no. But like with a Jimbo HOH, we all immediately in the VL were like, "Ooh, Louise is in danger, girl. Like you need to get on a call with this man ASAP. Hold hands on that frog couch and pray, pray to Miss Virgin Mary that you're not going to go up."
But the thing is, I don't remember if she's never played a Big Brother game before or not. But she's very slow rolling right now. Like she's got 2 alliances. Like one is the ridiculous 5, and they're like not doing anything together. Like they don't talk. They're not in control. They're not doing much. And then the other one is the Backyardigans, and that's just a placeholder alliance. It's truly just like to placate her by Kelly and Olivia and Bridget. So and Elise. Yeah, and Elise to an extent too is just placating Elise as well. So
exactly,
it's really those 3, Bridget, Olivia, and Kelly, that are like the central figures of all of that. So,
and it's kind of also to placate Bridget because it's what Bridget wants. Bridget wants all these non-men threats to be together, and Kelly and Olivia are like, I don't want anything to do with this. Kelly and Olivia want to play with the newbies. They don't want to play with these vets. Olivia wants them out yesterday. Like, she wants them all gone for all she cares. She wants to be at the end with the Claudias, the Jacobs, the Kadris of the world. And Bridget doesn't want that, which is... And it's hard. And again, we talk about every day with Bridget. It's like she's in such a weird position because she's doing everything right. Because she's such a paranoid player. And Bridget's living in the moment. She's playing with the people that she trusts. And she's staying calm, which is not what I expected from her, and I'm very impressed with her. It's just unfortunate that the people that she trusts don't like her or don't trust her back. They all like her, but it's just like, oh, she trusts Kelly and Olivia with her full heart and chest. It's like, Bridget, don't do that. Find somebody else because they're gonna snap your neck. They're gonna go meet you by the vent, snap your neck, and hop in the vent and see deuces, bye, and leave her to rot in the pre-jury. Like Bridget seems very last pre-jury to me right now because Kelly and Olivia are gonna make sure that happens. I just feel it in my heart. I feel it in my bones, and I feel bad for her because she is playing objectively well. But to finish up this challenge, I get why everyone is so mad at Kadri. It's funny because Kadri's going around being like, why is everyone so pressed about me lying? Half y'all didn't want head of household, so why are you pressed? Which,
I love that.
Like,
why are they so mad if they didn't want to be head of household?
Like, Kadri spilling, because it's like, you didn't want the head of household, so why are you upset that I lied to you and fucked up your thing even more? You're welcome.
I helped you out.
You're so welcome. But I get why people are mad, because some people, like Caro, like Elise, like Michael, spent a lot of time mapping this out, trying to figure out, like, oh, these people are going all these directions. How can I put it together and weave myself to a perfect score? And spent a lot of time, using the social dynamics to message people, confirm their directions, all these things, hopped on calls to do it, and then for it all to... Yeah, literally. For Caro to get a -70, for Michael to get a 0, they're upset. And Elise helped them, like, to get to a point where they would have a winning score, and for all of it to fall to, like, shit because of Kadri. Like, I get why people are upset, but I also do agree that, like, the other people who didn't want it can't be upset for them. Caro and Michael are allowed to be upset, but at least you didn't want the head of household. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? In the words of Morgan McMichaels, why are you mad, though? Why are you mad, though? And it's just it's just a lot.
I find it funny also that, like, you didn't think somebody was going to lie. Like, I know it's weird to me that so many people didn't lie. Like, that's weird.
Well, and that's a great segue into Jacob.
And that's Kadri's impact. That is Kadri's impact, because Kadri lied and told Jimbo and Jacob, hey, I'm lying. Jacob and Jimbo thought, oh, other people have to be lying, and factored that in to their into their trains. Jacob is the only person who knows all the information, who wants to win, and he fucks himself over because he thinks Caro's lying to him. So he puts Caro in a position being like, oh, I know she's lying to me, so I'm going to put her here because what she's telling me isn't the truth. She says she's going right. I know she's going left, so I'm going to put her right here because I need the left to be in this position. And she never was lying to him. So now he ends up with a score of 0 by him, and he fucks himself over. And then Jimbo does the exact same thing, but with the opposite result. He thinks Louise is lying to him. So puts Louise in a position being like, oh, you're telling me right. I know you're going left. I want to not win this head of household. So putting you here gets me my 0. Louise was never lying to him, and Jimbo now ends up with a 66 and wins the head of household because he overthought it. It's like, and I don't understand what Jimbo was doing, because you had 4 people that you trusted, put them all on train 1 in that order to get you a 0. Why did you rely on Louise to get you a 0? I don't understand that. Jimbo did not want this head of household. And so it's really interesting that this Kadri's impact of like, oh, he lied, so everyone else must be lying, so I'm going to factor in lies to my trains. And then it fucks everything up, where the person who people wanted to win, Jacob, doesn't win. And the person who doesn't want to win, Jimbo, wins. Disaster.
It just feels like that's what you all get. Like, it's shocking to me that more people don't lie in this, but I think people are just like, what's the worth of it? I don't know. And it's dumb. And I'm glad everybody got mad for being dumb. So go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of words. It's poetic in the sense of everyone all day was like, oh, this must be a crapshoot. There's no way you can game this. There's no way. Half the house had all the answers because everyone chose to. 4 people or 5 people messaged their direction in the house chat. Obviously, one of those was a lie, but 4 people were like, hey, here's my direction in the house chat. Good luck with it.
I honestly love that everybody tried to game it and one person lied and derailed the whole thing.
Kind of
cute.
It's hysterical.
Like messiest timeline, and that's my favorite.
I love it.
I know, I'm sitting there thinking, like, what would I have done if I had seen like 4 people post in the house chat like, this is mine, I'm not lying? I'd be like, oh crap. Like, should I lie? Should I not lie?
I'd be mad at them. I'm like, do I have to post now? I don't want to post.
I know it puts you in this weird mind frame, because you're like, if I lie and I'm the only one now, what can happen?
Yeah.
But if I don't lie, like, am I just giving myself away? Like, It's frustrating. I would not. I'd be
I
frustrated.
would hate it. I'm like, can we all just like do our own thing and like just see what
Right.
happens? Just leave me alone.
Yeah, the whole comp was just Team TV and a mess for everyone because you got people posting in the house chat and everyone's like, wait, do I need to post? Do I need to lie? You've got people lying about really dumb things, like Anwar keeps going around being like, I don't understand this competition. Then everyone will, he's like, Bridget, I don't get this. Bridget then literally explains what to do in a paragraph. He goes, oh, that makes sense. Louise comes and messages Anwar. Louise, I don't get this competition. Louise messages Anwar exactly what to do. And like he just keeps going around being like, I don't understand this competition. It's like at some point people are gonna realize that you're telling this to everybody. Like, Anwar, everyone has explained this to how you play this challenge. Obviously, we know Anwar knows what to do. He's just pretending to not know. And I'm like, Anwar, you gotta like just go silent. Jeff's doing the
Don't
same
say anything
thing.
or just say like, I feel like this has been explained to me 80 times and I can't quite wrap my head around it. Like I feel like such a dum-dum. I did that a lot. Anyway, but like there's like ways.
There's ways to do it. And Jeff's doing the same thing. Jeff's like, I submitted mine last night. I don't get this. I just did something random. And people are like, well, you can change it. He goes, can I? And then Michael's like, hey, Prod, can we change our submission? I'm like, yeah, you absolutely can. Just I need it done by 6:30. And they go, hey, Jeff, you could absolutely change your submission. And Jeff goes, what? No, I can? I'm like, Jeffrey.
There's
Jeffrey
a fine art
Ellis.
to acting dumb, and it takes a lot of like forethought, and like you need to like have your ignorance in the right places. You can't just like, oh my god, really?
You need to
I'm
be
gonna say
smart to
this.
be dumb.
You do. You need to be smart to play dumb, right?
Yeah.
I want to say this because I know Jeff will probably watch back at this, but
Oh.
I am literally screaming at him through the computer every day. I'm like, you tell people you're great at comps and then you're throwing them and you're throwing them badly. Like, for
Yeah.
real.
Like,
There's also an art to the throw. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
lost.
There is.
Sixes.
Like he's in an elite group of orgers, and my list is not, extensive by any means. Like me, Foser, who's behind me, Ryan R.T. Taylor, Jeff, people who win a lot of challenges when they play an
Lee
org.
Farrell, because he's going to
Lee
be
Farrell.
list him in this epic list of
Lee,
players that we
Susie, Christian, Amanda Lindgren. There's plenty of people who win a lot of challenges. If you're going to throw, you have to throw in a way where you actually still kind of get close to the correct winning score, because no one's going to fucking believe that, Jeffrey, you memorized 6 words. No one is going to believe that you got a negative 28.
I was like
Jeffrey.
screaming at him during that memory one because I know how good his memory is. I've been friends with him for like 16 years. He'll tell me shit I don't remember. Like, I know how good it is. And then he gets a freaking 6. I'm like, make it believable.
at least Kelly had the backstory of, oh, my thing glitched and it just didn't mess. Like she understood, like, okay, this score is garbage, but also to say like, oh, I was doing it on my phone, I couldn't see it right. Like she was lying and going smart.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's been infuriating me all this season because it's like he's throwing and bad throwing, and it's like, Jeff, you're not really in that good of a spot. I'm gonna need you to stop doing that because your time is running out to build some social bonds here. And honestly, we'll get into it. This nomination might be the best thing for him.
Yeah.
And I know that's like a crazy thing to say. I think it's the wake-up call he needs. And I think it is enlightening people that Jeff is not as dangerous of a player as people think that he is. So I'm thinking that this actually might be very beneficial to his game. And actually, I think he'll go up in my power rankings because of it, which is funny.
If he survives it, it's going to be like, come on, buddy, let's go.
Yeah, like this is the time. Let's get into it. Alrighty. So the conclusion of this Head of Household Challenge, Jimbo is crowned the winner, and Jimbo immediately says, what the fuck? How is this possible? He immediately is like, that wasn't supposed to happen. And he immediately realizes, God damn it, Louise told me the truth. I overthought this. It's funny because he mentioned all today that he was going to be Jimbo Baby the Fool. Like, I'm going to act super dumb. And as soon as he wins, he goes, oh, God, not me actually being Jimbo Baby the Fool and giving myself the head of household, which just tickled me. But Jimbo immediately makes the alliance with himself, Anwar, and Veronica. They have not named it, but I promise you gay will be in the title of the alliance. They start off with Hey Homos. So Gay 2K is probably the alliance name that they'll ultimately end on, but that's an alliance that formed. but immediately Jimbo's stressing big time. Because Jimbo takes like 10 minutes to like breathe and collect himself because he's like, fucking damn it, I shouldn't have won this. I should have just trusted what everyone told me. And in that 10, 15 minutes, everyone clocks Kadri. Immediately people are like, well, if Kadri actually goes left instead of the right, he told us, that's the score I got. Is that the score you got? Oh, that's the score you got. How about you? Oh, that also works. Interesting. Kadri must be the liar. And Kelly and Olivia are like, we need to protect Kadri. No one can know that he lied. And then immediately in all of their alliance chats, Louise says, I think Kadri lied. Elise like, I think Kadri lied. Bridget, I think Kadri lied. And they're like, okay, well, plan B. Protect Kadri even though he lied. And Jimbo and Olivia are panicking. Because they're in the Pussy Willows with Kelly and with Kadri, and that is right now one of their big alliances and people that they want to protect. But it's hard when you've got people who are so pressed about Kadri's lie. And Jimbo's going, and here's the thing that Jimbo should not have, and I get it, I get what he's trying to do, but he created a bigger mess for himself. Because everyone goes, Jimbo, were you trying to win this? And he goes, no. In fact, I was trying to score a 0, and that did not happen. I got a 66. And people's immediate logical response is, oh, so your trains are fucked up because of Kadri. Interesting. It seems like you're in this bad position because of Kadri. Sounds like he should be an easy nomination for you. When, in fact, we all know that Kadri's not the reason his trains are fucked up. The reason his trains are fucked up is because of him. Because Jimbo overthought this, but he's now opened the door for people to just be like, so you're going to put up Kadri. And he doesn't want to do that. But he feels like he has no other option but to at least target Kadri either directly by putting him up or pretending to backdoor him. And he feels really stuck right now because of how these things have all shaped up.
Can I like a side note here? Everybody is so open about, I don't want to win this chat. Like, why do I want to align with you if you don't want to win stuff? Like, I was just naturally bad at a lot of things. I wasn't throwing them. I only threw like a couple of things in my season, but damn it, I tried at some shit and just was bad at it. But like, I'm not interested in you if you don't want to win power. Then what are we doing here?
It's funny because a lot of the people who are throwing should not be throwing.
No,
like Louise, she didn't really throw, but she didn't try, and she really obviously needed to win. Jeff, I'm pretty sure Jeff threw again.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
You know, like,
oh, absolutely.
And here he is on the block. Like, you know, there are people who are not in good positions who continue to throw competitions and say they don't want to win. Veronica is one of them. Anwar, another. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, which is why I'm rooting for a Veronica or Anwar to like rise to power and fuck some people up, because I'm wondering if this round will change people's perspectives on it. Probably not Kelly's. Kelly, I think, is throwing till the end of time. But other people, I'm hoping this is a wake up call. It's like, at any point, anybody can win, and it could be your worst case scenario. So, like, as much as you feel safe, sometimes throwing is just not the right, especially when everyone else is throwing. Like, I get Kelly throwing. I get it. Because she's literally in an alliance with, I think, almost everybody in the game except Veronica and maybe Anwar. Like, she's literally aligned with everyone. I get it. But there comes a moment where you have to realize that, oh, if everyone else is throwing, it's like 4 people are playing for it. Someone has to buckle up and take one for the damn team, unless you want a crazy fucking round, which is now where we've ended up, where Jimbo feels pressured to target his active alliance member because of all of this. And now Jimbo finds himself dropping in my power rankings because now his position's being insanely clocked. Because people are like, if you're not going to put up Kadri, so then you're with him. Who else are you with? You're putting up. Ultimately, he puts up Louise and Jeff, but like puts up Louise and Jeff. Michael was thrown around as a possibility as well, which is
also a tour of telling everybody what he was going to do, and then reassuring Kadri, like, yeah, but if I renominate, I'm like, sorry, if you put somebody on the block, you're not mad.
That's the thing. He just made another web of mess for himself, because him and Olivia are like, well, you could just put Kadri up and tell Kadri we're going to save him. You could tell everybody that you're going to backdoor Kadri, and that's ultimately what he decides to do, is run around and tell everybody he probably would backdoor Kadri in the event that he needed to, and he's not going to do that.
You better pray that veto doesn't get used.
I was going to say,
because
that's crazy.
I think Jimbo's living
in the veto competition though, so
yeah, I think Jimbo's living in this world where he just doesn't have to think about it right now. Because
and then you have Jeff on the block, Jeff and Louise, two good players, like who will, if they actually play, they can win. So it's very probable one of them's going to win the veto and take themselves off. And then what is he going to do?
And I don't think Jimbo's thought that far. Like, I know he's told, but the problem is he's told the whole house that he's going to backdoor Kadri. Yeah. So, like, you kind of put yourself in the position where you kind of have to. And if you don't...
He's serving very Mitchell Stokes in BBH6. At the third HOH when I was aligned with the whole house and didn't need to win, and had to backdoor one of my closest allies. So this will be fun for us. Not fun for Jimbo.
Team TV.
Even if he puts Kadri up, thinking Kadri's going to be safe, he's not going to be safe because everybody's either mad at him or clocking that they're working together at this point.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. You're screwed either way.
I haven't run the numbers, but I would have to think that Kadri would get evicted here.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think Kelly would save him, Jacob would save him, Olivia would save him, but I think that's where it ends.
They're not gonna put themselves out there and like a 3 whatever vote. They're gonna be like, sorry, friend, house is going that way.
He needs 6, and I don't think he has 6. I could see him getting 3, maybe 4, but I don't see 6. So if the veto gets used, we could easily veto his chance, though, in my opinion. Yes and no. I mean, there's a little bit of for those who have not watched it, there's a test stream in I believe it's in the Streaming Links channel on Discord where you can watch Gray and Lee and other people. Steph, did you play? Who else played? I don't know. So people played. It's hiding. So yes, there is some chance element to it, but also there is strategy in where you put your tokens, thinking about where people will go, where people won't go, and also just being effective with the time that you're given. So yes, partially, but partially not. So we'll see.
Comment.
What?
Let's have Kadri win and pull Jeff down.
I asked him. He won't do it.
That would be
something.
Why?
Unless something radically changes. Ultimately, in basically where I guess we can kind of let's get there. Basically, Jimbo tells Kadri, "Hey, I might have to put you up." Kadri's like, let's not do that. I don't feel comfortable with that." Which then puts Jimbo in the position. This is how Jimbo gets to okay, I'll backdoor Kadri because Kadri doesn't feel comfortable going up as an initial nom.
No shit.
Also doesn't help that Kadri leaks to Jimbo that Anwar was the rogue vote, and Anwar is Jimbo's number 1 in this game, so probably not also great on Kadri's part, but whatever. Life goes on.
He clocked it on the call. He was like, I don't know, maybe you're working with this person. And I was like,
I probably shouldn't tell you.
Mouth shut.
And ultimately Olivia does all that she can to save Kadri in the eyes of the house, and Olivia needs to stop. Olivia, you got to cut ties with this man. This man is a liability. And I know that Kadri and Olivia are very close, but there comes a point where you have to just realize that it's time to, it just is not worth it anymore.
Don't be the Robbie to
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And ultimately we end on the Jeff and Louise nominations. People that Jimbo wants to go home. They were always thrown around as targets for him. And ultimately he's just I'm just going to try to avoid the Kadri discussion as long as possible. And here's where we get to kind of a split house. We got people who are in the Louise camp, people who are in the Jeff camp. But I don't think anyone feels passionate enough to use the power veto. Kadri is in the boat of, let's not use it. Let's just get rid of Louise, and then let's pick up Jeff and move forward with him. And that seems to be most of the house's preferred outcome is for Jeff to stay and for Louise to go. but I don't think it's set in stone by any means. This is a quick round. I mean, we evict someone tonight, so anything can happen. Right now Jeff would stay, but I don't know. There's a lot of time left. Also, like, if the veto gets used, I think it's Kadri's swan song, and he leaves us here in 14th place. A lot to happen, but ultimately I do think it might be a do or die situation for Louise for sure. Louise needs to win this veto. Like, I don't think she wants to take a gamble that she's up next to Kadri. It's still not a gamble I think she wants to take, because there still might be people who are like, Kadri's a mess.
Oh no, it's me.
But Louise is right there. What?
Is it me?
What's you?
It's always you.
Dang.
I don't know.
I don't know, girl. I don't know what's
I
going
don't
on
know
with
what's
you.
happening.
So yeah, it's you.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I
don't know what he just did.
Anyone know
I
what he's
think
talking about?
No.
No.
Okay.
I think Louise would most likely at this point go against Jeff, but I think if it was Kadri, yeah, I think there'd be a little bit more fight between those two.
Yeah, I think Louise stays against. I think anyone stays against Kadri, but don't
Yeah.
risk it. Don't risk it. I think she loses against Jeff, but don't risk it. I think she needs to win this to feel
100%.
Feel confident. I think Jeff can stay against Kadri. I think Jeff stays against Louise. So, but again, hell, Kadri might not even be the renom. Jimbo might find a way to talk his way into nominating somebody else, like a Michael, because Michael is still on the table.
Apparently, there's
So-
an Operation Save Jeff Boot Louise that Stokes posted about.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
those.
the Kelly and Olivia were talking last night, and they are on, like, they're not ready to get rid of Jeff right now. Kadri wants to save Jeff. They think Jacob will want to save him, and they think that Jacob can get Claudia to save him. So that's 5 votes. So they really just need one more to do this, which is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for Jeff.
Yeah, so it's good that, I mean, I said yesterday that no one would fight for Jeff to stay, and here I am being proven right and wrong. Like, I don't think anyone came in with the intention of saving Jeff, but when you got Louise next to him, it's like, well, against Louise, I think maybe we should.
Mhm.
Well, and they've realized Jeff isn't in the power position they thought he was in,
Yeah.
like through all this, and that's helped.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I know, not Michael. I would feel like Jimbo would have to nominate Kadri in a renom, but I don't know. Jimbo might talk himself out of it somehow and put up Michael and really doom his own game. God damn it, Jimbo! Why did you not just get a fucking 0? I don't understand. This list made no goddamn sense when he submitted it. I just looked at this list and I'm like, this list don't make any goddamn sense. But whatever, it'll be
His
fine.
only hope to get out of renominating Kadri is if somebody does something in the next several hours
Mhm.
to draw
Yeah.
attention to themselves.
Hey.
Which
could
anything
happen.
is possible. Yeah.
That could happen.
Pull a Vanessa, stage a fight, stage a fake cry, and put him and renominate. I forget who she renominates. I think the name actually was Jeff. It's BB17 when she has to put up someone, even though she promised the whole house she would do something else. Then she stages a fight with this man and gets him nominated, and she's like, he yelled at me. He got in a fight with me. I have to put him up, and she got out of it. So, yes, and Kara would also save Jeff, absolutely. Oh, actually, no. Louise is the one question mark for Caro, because Caro loves Louise. But I do think Caro would save Jeff.
How can you not love Louise?
True.
Louise is great.
She's so
Watch
great,
her
honestly.
confessional with
It's
like
gonna-
clown makeup.
So
It's gonna be
Oh my
such
God.
a shame if we lose her this
I
early.
know.
It truly is going to be such a shame.
Because again, I think she fell victim to the same thing that Jeff's in. Like, Louise is a power player. Louise has to be in things. I'm not in things with Louise. It means she must be against me. When Louise really isn't in a lot. She's in the backyardigans, which is just fake to appeal to everyone. Like, just the non-men who are like, we're all big threats. We should all stick together. Like, that stupid mentality. And then obviously was in that ridiculous 6, which was ridiculous and fell apart as soon as it could. So Louise isn't in anything massive, but people think that she is. So it's unfortunate. But so that's what we look forward to today. We have the veto today at 4 p.m. Eastern live. It should take about an hour, give or take, where we have our HOH Jimbo, our nominees, Jeff and Louise, and our veto players, which are Claudia, Kadri, and Veronica, all vying to win the power of veto, a very crucial one, because this could radically change where this game goes forward in terms of who gets scooped up, all those things. So be with us for them. We'll have the eviction tonight. Other things the one thing else I want to talk about before we get to final thoughts and all this is this Anwar and Jacob final 2 that absolutely tickles the hell out of me.
Oh God.
So Anwar's like, hey Jacob, would you consider a final 2 with me? And Jacob, they divert the topic, they talk about other stuff, and then Anwar brings back up this conversation like, hey Jacob, you never answered my question about our final 2 that I proposed to you. And Jacob goes, I'll get back to you later on this. I'm still thinking it over. Jacob, this is not a business email. This is not a business proposition. This is not a job offer. This is not something that you consider. This is a yes, absolutely. Yeah. I would love to.
It's so cringe. I can't help it. It's so bad.
Jacob. I feel embarrassed for you, and I'm so sorry.
It's hard. It's hard because what if you don't actually? I know right. You're supposed to say, you're always supposed to say yes, but like it's so early in the game.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I do have like a tad bit of a respect for it in the terms of like, hey, I'm trying to just process if I actually think like if I could actually be committed to this like long term versus like, because it's I think a no from Jacob here is not like, well, no, and I want to boot you next. Like it just is like right now. I don't know if like, are we really just going to commit to a final 2 right now at final 14? It's hard. It's very hard.
For sure. But
yeah, at the same time, like not giving an answer also like he can be like, well, what's Jacob's real intentions now? And it puts a target on him. Like
right. I just think you need to give an answer is the problem, even if no is like the quote unquote incorrect answer. I get that he wants to be respectful and he wants to be honest. That's great. It's just you're making people worry. It's so many levels of unnecessary. It's my favorite word in orgs because he's just making him paranoid. You have to say yes, and then you get put in an awkward situation at probably like final 8 or something, most likely, where you say, oh, so-and-so and I did have a final 2. Oh, let me target them for that, blah, 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 whatever. So I can see the wheels turning of like he doesn't want to be caught in that. But you gotta give an answer. You gotta. It's awkward.
Yeah, like even if the answer is no, hey, it's too early and there's so much game left to be played, like I'd love to work with you, but like anything could happen. Like we could be on the block next to each other. Like there's a way to like approach it as it's too early kind of perspective. But like when you go, I'm thinking about it, gives off the vibes of I'm also with other people and I need to think about who I'm actually going to prioritize at the end of the day here before I give you an answer. So Anwar now knows, oh, okay, you might not be around, but you're with people. Interesting. Okay, cool. And in the words of Icon from BBH16, Jess T, it's a game, it's pre-jury, and it's laughable. Jacob, give an answer. Like Jacob, just like it's like Anwar's not going to be the death of you in this game. Your lack of availability will be the death of you in this game. It won't be Anwar. And it's just like, it's just that whole conversation is just like wild to me that even happened. Again, mad respect that you didn't just immediately say yes, but you got to say something.
I mean, like, so like, that's how Lizzie is. Like that's how Lizzie plays. Like where she's like, she's not gonna tell you yes unless she is fully committed to what you have proposed to her. And there is a strategy behind that because like, at least you're being upfront and you're being honest. But it also can really put a target on your back. So,
but I think Lizzie does it in a way that is respectful. Like she and I literally just started, not literally, this was a month ago. We just started playing Legacy together and I was second boot. Don't talk about it. But when we saw each other, because we were from BBH12, Lizzie and I actually know each other IRL because we almost went to the same college and then like followed each other on Instagram. So like we saw each other and I was like, oh my God, Lizzie, like this is it. And her response wasn't like the same energy. It was very like I was here and she was here. which is the right way to do it. She didn't say, let me think about it. She said, oh, it's so good to see you. Like, yes, let's definitely work together. Like, very, not
Vague.
even neutral,
Vague.
positively neutral. Yeah. And that's how you go about it. So I've said my piece.
Yeah.
I have like a quick thing also. I was listening to a call with Bridget and Veronica, and I commented on the updates. And I mean, I was so frustrated. I just wanted to shake Veronica because Bridget kept asking the questions to get all of Veronica's game. Like she was very good about how she asked them, and Veronica was just answering them openly as if it was just like a happy how do you meet you interview, asking no questions of Bridget, getting absolutely no information of Bridget. And Bridget's in there like, oh yeah, like how do you feel about this person? Like, do you think these people are working in a group together? Like, if you were in a group with people, who would you want to be in that group? Like, oh, if you were HOH, like who would you have not? And she's answering like all of the questions very openly and candidly, but never like saying, oh, hey, Bridget, like, well, if you were HOH, who would you have put up? Or being a little more vague about it, being so clear, giving Bridget like the clearest outline of her priorities in the game that I was just like, this is like turning your game notes over to somebody else like freely and asking for nothing in return.
I love Veronica. I mean, she was first boot of the season of Padlock. And so I got to know her I don't want to say very well, but her gameplay is really interesting. And I root for her because she is similar to me in that she tends to be the underdog, tends to be the person that's not on the ends of everything. But I want to see her get her hands a little more dirty because I feel like she's going down the same path of being acquaintances with everyone and not having those people. And right now she has a chance. She's survived. She's here. So I want to see her get her hands dirty, and I want to see her really connect with people because spoiler alert, she's one of my draft picks. So Veronica, please. But she has so much potential. She could do so much, and she hasn't shown this side here. She gets cutthroat. She gets really cutthroat. Her video for Padlock, which is why I was so scared of her and why I booted her first, was if you mess with me, I'm going to mess with you. I am here for the long time. Like, I want to find people. And so I'm still waiting to see that from her. And I know it's there. I know it is.
I want to see it too.
Yeah.
Come on.
Girl.
Any final thoughts about anyone left in the game? Thoughts moving forward? Thoughts about anything that happened in the past 24 hours? Or dare I even say the past 7 days? Anything you want to talk about? The mic is yours. The floor is yours.
Where's Claudia?
I was going to say the same thing.
That is a very good
wedding.
point.
She just
She's at a wedding.
Okay. Because I'm like, she was on the block. She did great, like with help, obviously. Like, killed her diary rooms. We love her. And then I'm like, where did she go?
Yeah, she's at a wedding this weekend. But I think her calls that she was on earlier in the week solidified people's love for her, and I think that's going to carry her. Because this season seems to be either you are team scoop up the noobs or you are team boot them ASAP. And luckily for her, all of the HOH winners so far have been team scoop up the noobs. So she's been able to like kind of skate by on likability. Because like if the roles have been reversed and we had people who were team keep the bets around, Louise would be sitting very pretty. Louise and Claudia playing a very similar game. Be likable, like not really in anything, but you know, just unfortunate luck on Louise's part and a lot of luck on Claudia's part. So yeah, Claudia chilling, existing, doing what she did before she got nommed, which was just talk to people via text.
Claudia stands rise. That's
I think it did help that
no one is coming for her.
Yeah.
No one is coming for her.
Why would you?
I think it helped too when she was nommed, and then she kind of like was able to learn the game a little, and then fall back again.
For sure.
Yeah, there are people who would nominate her.
Nommed.
Like Louise probably would have nominated her because it's like they don't talk a ton. Caro would because Caro has no one else really to nominate, and like it's the people who know that they fucked up on the stand but would nominate her because they told her the truth.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to evict you later, but like the house wouldn't evict her. That's the thing. It's like there are people who would nominate her just because like I fucked up and I have no other option but to nominate you because I was going to evict you anyway. But yet no one's after her. Like people are just like all on the Claudia boat and all think that they have her and want her in their long-term plans, but like everyone wants her. It's very like how Jacob's becoming. Like everyone's like, oh, I love Jacob because like he's with me, but everyone's thinking that. Like, oh, I love Jacob because he's with me. Well, no, he's with Kadri. He's not with you. He's with Kadri, and then he's with Kelly, and then I don't remember the rest of his rankings. I think Claudia's pretty high as well. Anwar. Like, so
What an interesting mix.
Very interesting mix. Yeah. But I'm loving the season so much, and I cannot wait to see where this goes because it seems like people are tanking their games on the daily. Jimbo
That's what I love about it.
Jimbo was number one in my power rankings 24 hours ago. He will not be anywhere near there come when I do my new rankings tonight or tomorrow morning. Yeah, like this game is radically changing. I mean, and there are so many not fights, but like wars that I'm waiting to be raged. Kelly and Olivia versus Bridget is coming. Kelly versus Olivia will eventually come to some point. Everyone who's
Kadri versus anyone.
Yeah.
Like, depending on versus anyone he decides to turn on.
Like
I'm excited.
Like Anwar knows that losing Veronica is good for him at some point in this game and will do it if he needs to, but like is not actively seeking that out. Like there are people who are deathly loyal to each other right now who are going to turn on each other in the nearby future, and it's about to be it's so good.
Is it because he's worried about the two of them being considered a pair? Is that it?
That's literally it. And I think Anwar knows that how this trajectory of this game is going, which is like keep the less fortunate around and boot the people who are better off in this game. He worries that he'd be the boot over her.
He probably would be.
Yeah.
I think people, if they thought about it, as much people don't like Veronica, they'd be dumb to boo her. Like, hello? Yeah. Like, if like Veronica only has so many people in this game, so yeah, I think Anwar knows. Like, hey, if Veronica's on the block and like the votes are going that way, bye, girl.
He's kind of
see you later.
If Veronica's on the block, he's probably also on the block. So
exactly, like, there's no way they aren't nominated together.
You already put your claim in that. You gotta deal with it now.
Exactly, but that's where we're at. Like, we are at such a fluid game in this position where we've had so many alliances, but the alliances don't really mean it. It's like, what's that show that Drew Carey hosts? Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's like the game's made up and the points don't matter. Yeah. It's very much like the alliances are made up. They don't matter. And everyone's playing for themselves. Like the people, the alliances or the bonds that seem the most strong aren't formalized. And that's what's really exciting is that people are just using these alliances by proxy to push what they really want, which is people that they're aligned with outside of these alliances. So I'm excited because this round's a mess. I'm looking forward to this veto. My eyes will be glued to this computer at 4:00 Eastern, as yours should be, because if Jeff or Louise is to pull this off and win, Jimbo's in a world of hurt. His heart is gonna hurt. His butthole is gonna fall out of his body because he's gonna have a hard decision about what to do here. Either lose Kadri and the Pussy Willows. We'll never get that Beatles wig cover that we were absolutely promised.
Oh my god!
No.
Yeah, they all bought wigs on Amazon. Like those,
shut up.
Really terrible, shiny, like multicolored wigs to take a Beatles like photo album cover together. No. We won't get that. We won't get that ever again. Yeah, Olivia. I think Olivia bought hers high. Kelly has one. Kadri already has one, and Jimbo bought his as well. Yeah, love them, but yeah, that alliance is falling apart at the seams every day. Love them, but yeah, every alliance is just not strong. So I'm excited. 4 p.m. Be there, or I'm kicking out of the Discord because what else are you doing at 4 p.m.? 4 p.m. No basketball game that's interesting is on.
It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really fun to watch. There's like, if you didn't watch the preview, like the test veto, there's like some really funny prompts and things that people will be having to do. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Excited. Look forward to seeing you there.
I really kind of want Jeff or Louise to win the veto. And
I
Same.
do too.
Same. That's what I'm rooting for. Like, I love Jimbo with all my heart, but Jimbo, you did this to yourself. Like, this was an HOH you absolutely could have avoided, and you fucked up, and this is kind of the pain you deserve for it.
Mhm.
And that's what I want. And I want him to have to make I want him to have to make the Sophie's choice.
Mhm.
Are you going to lose Kadri, or are you going to bury yourself with Kadri and put up Michael? Like, what are you going to do?
Either
Like,
way,
I'm
it's gonna
excited.
it's gonna be great and messy.
Yes.
Yes. Watch the test veto, super fun, and then after the veto, stick with us because it'll be over around 5 p.m. Eastern. From 5 until we haven't set eviction time yet, probably like 9 to 9:30, probably, give or take. Sometime in like the 9 to 10 time frame. Like, stick with us because this house is about to explode. Like, if the noms stay the same, Jeff and Louise, it's not a done deal. If there's a renom necessary, this house is going to explode because the renom is not a done deal. Like, be with us because those 4.5 hours are going to be lit, and it's super exciting, and I cannot wait to waste my entire Sunday night watching these strangers play Big Brother Hometowns.
Very that.
But we are peacing out. For me, for Operation Save Joff, Mitchell Stokes, Crystal, the winner, BBH13, Hannah G, icon, follow her on Twitch at Handgons, right there. Love it. And for 70 Fagan, my Texas queen, go watch her in Ascendance Live. She does pretty well, spoiler alert. And watch her in Michigan Mole in May, or whenever they do the episodes. I don't know, sometime then. But we're peacing out. I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 10:30 for my final stint with my co-host, Mitchell Stokes, until he has to go back to his job. What the hell's that about?
No.
What the hell's that about?
No.
Boo, quit your job.
Tomato.
Tomato. But until tomorrow at 10:30, stay thirsty, my friends, and I'll catch you in the Discord today. Bye, y'all.